Hi Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I am here today for my first Shaketember video of the month. I'm one of the hosts of Shaketember along with Nicole at A Day of Small Things and my husband Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse. And together we created the Shakespeare Journey tag, an original tag to celebrate Shakespeare. I really love this tag. I'm so excited about it. Question number 1. What was your first experience reading Shakespeare and what was it like? So I read 2 Shakespeare plays in high school. I read Romeo and Juliet and Julius Caesar. I don't count Julius Caesar among the plays I've read because I don't remember reading it at all. I don't remember any experience of it. I do remember reading Romeo and Juliet because I was so taken with just the intense love language in that play, and we watched the Franco Zeffirelli film adaptation. My English teacher had forgotten there was nudity in the film and like raced to the front of the classroom to try to like hide stuff, and of course, anyway. But yeah, so those are my kind of first Shakespeare memories. Question number 2, has the reading of a Shakespeare play ever brought you to tears? What scene was it and where were you when it happened? I don't think I have ever cried actually reading a Shakespeare play, but reading something and then seeing like a film adaptation and it's just a whole different experience of it. I have to say that the beginning of this film, Much Ado About Nothing, which truthfully the beginning of this film could never be done on stage, and I love it so much. I love it. I love the film, and what has been done with it, so very much. So this has made me cry. Let's see. Question 3. Are there any people that have played a significant role in your Shakespeare journey? Yes! This community right here, Booktube, Shaketember, it was formerly called Shaketube, was the first event I ever participated in on Booktube, and I was absolutely terrified, but I still wanted to try. And I remember making a video in the backyard about As You Like It. I think I'd stolen my husband's jacket, to pretend like I was dressing up like a man or something like that. I think the first year too, I also like designated myself like the Shaketube cheerleader. I don't know what that was about. It was one of my crazy moments on Booktube. But anyway, yeah, I just got really excited by it, and also the response from other people who know way more about Shakespeare than I do was so encouraging. It was a far cry from saying something in a high school or a college class and having everyone kind of dive in on you and critique you. I've made many gaffes related to Shakespeare, one which is probably in this video, but nonetheless, people are very supportive and very kind and encouraging, and I have read so much Shakespeare, not just during Shaketember, but throughout the year. Not this year, but yeah, so I have read a lot of Shakespeare since joining Booktube, and that is one of the greatest gifts of my life, actually, really, from Booktube. So question 4, do you have a favorite book or film about Shakespeare? I brought a couple down. We have many, and I do want to make a little video about film adaptations. So I'm just gonna briefly share these now. Of course, there's Shakespeare in Love, which I've been thinking about a lot, reading Romeo and Juliet. You know, the film is totally fictional, but I do love the idea of how, you know, how a play would come about, or yeah, just, I don't know. It's just it's such just a sweet film, like I said, but it's not factual in any way. And the other film or miniseries about Shakespeare that I really enjoy is In Search of Shakespeare, and this is hosted, of course, by the wonderful Michael Wood. Now, I've since read a book about Shakespeare, and so I know some of the things in this aren't actually true, but nonetheless, no one can be as enthusiastic about whatever he's making a film about as Michael Wood. So I love his enthusiasm. I love him going to the archives and, you know, finding Shakespeare on paper, or, you know, just even his speculations. So I normally watch this in September sometime, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that this year. Got a few other things going on. So anyway, but this is really excellent. Like I said, you know, he has to make some leaps and some jumps. And there's, you know, one scene in particular that the book I read earlier this year, Soul of the Age, about Shakespeare. One of the anecdotes in this film, Jonathan Bate makes very clear is probably not true. Which character in Shakespeare most resembles you, and in what ways? I think this is the hardest question. In my heart, I would love to be Beatrice from Much Ado About Nothing. I'm pretty sure I'm not quite as sharp as she is, but I don't know. So I'd be curious. What do you guys think? What Shakespeare character do you think I am? I would love to hear that. I'm not really sure, and I haven't read all of Shakespeare, so I don't know. If you guys come back and tell me I'm Lady Macbeth, I'll be a little worried. Let's see. Which play would you most like to see performed in a theater, and why? You know what? I have seen so little Shakespeare performed live. I would give anything to see any of it. I have seen the Royal Shakespeare Company perform Hamlet in Stratford-upon-Avon, which was an amazing experience. But of course, I was kind of a moron at the time, you guys. I didn't really know what I was, you know, what I was watching, what I was seeing, what was happening. I will, at some point this month, I will share my Hamlet program with you, because it's absolutely gorgeous. And it really helps me remember the play a little bit better. It's a very modern, it's almost like a business tycoon kind of family, and people are wearing suits, and it's all very gray and dark, and yeah, it was incredible. But yeah, I wish I remembered more about it, and I wish that I had seen more Shakespeare in my life. I'm so glad there are so many film adaptations that I can experience Shakespeare that way. But yeah, when I was growing up, we went to see a lot of ballets, and we went to see a lot of musicals. And that's what we focused on. I wasn't into Shakespeare then. Question 7. What actor throughout history would you most like to have seen play Hamlet while in his prime? I bet some of you can guess. Oh, here we go. So I've shown this on my channel many times. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen Benedict Cumberbatch play Hamlet. But again, really, there are tons and tons of actors that I would have loved to have seen play Hamlet. So yeah, it's an amazing play and an amazing part, and I don't know how actors can remember so many lines. It's just really phenomenal. Okay, question 8. Deliver your favorite speech or soliloquy from a Shakespeare play. So I am going to do this, but I'm going to do it at the end. Okay, so I promise it's coming. It's from my second favorite Shakespeare play. And yes, so I'm not an actress. Please forgive me for my little stumbles and that sort of thing there. But anyway, so I'm so excited to hear other people read Shakespeare on their channel. I think that's going to be awesome. Question 9. Do any of Shakespeare's plays intimidate you? If yes, what play and why? So initially, all of Shakespeare's plays intimidated me. I was scared of everything. But, I just kind of inched my way in. I think I read 2 Shakespeare plays the first year I participated in Shaketember, again then known as Shaketube. Yeah, and some of the plays that I was really nervous about were the history plays. And so we have an edition that's got Richard II, Henry IV's part 1 and part 2, and Henry V. And I read them and I just loved them so much. I was really actually kind of surprised at how much I enjoyed those plays. So yeah, I think that was maybe the most intimidating thing, but I feel really good about it. And that's why, in part, why I picked Richard III as my play for Shaketember this year. So, anyway, but yeah, it was all intimidating in the beginning, but no, I'm not afraid anymore, and I'm not afraid to make mistakes, and I'm not afraid to misunderstand, and because every time you read, this is the third time, granted the first time was in high school, but the third time I've read Romeo and Juliet, and there were things I saw in it that hadn't really paid that much attention to before. So yeah. Let's see. Question 10. What tips would you give to intimidated readers coming to Shakespeare for the first time? Oh, there's so much I want to say right now. So I would just say this is not school. There's no grade. And this is such a supportive community to talk about Shakespeare. To give you like the worst case scenario, Jason and I made a video together. I think it was on Jason's channel, so I can't even like make it private and hide it. But we talked about a play, and I don't know if I just got like in a hurry at the end of the play or what, but I completely botched the ending of the play, and it's all on camera. It's all in a video, and you know what? Like nobody was like, Kelly, you moron! Like nobody did that. Everyone was supportive and kind, and very very friendly about it. So I figure if I can survive that, even last year I made a video about King Lear, and I was just like, I don't even like. I mean, that's another play that just is just mind-boggling. I mean, it's wild. So, yeah, I made a video, but it just sort of like stumbled through it all. And, yeah, again, like people were great about it. So I would just say, like, just give it a shot. Like, just, and read, just because we read, just because you may have read a couple plays in high school, well, for one thing, you're probably a different person now. And the other thing is that, look at the back of the play. Like, you don't have to read Romeo and Juliet to start off with. You know what I mean? Like, read what the play is about, and if that sounds interesting to you, then that's what you should read. Just like a novel, right? I mean, we read the back of it and see if it sounds like something we might enjoy or be interested in. And yeah, like, do it. So, but I would just say, like, give it a try. Really, really give it a try. Question 11, what is your favorite Shakespeare play and why? My favorite Shakespeare play is definitely Hamlet. Kind of reading experience that is just mind-blowing. And I've since watched, I think, 2 film adaptations. And yeah, so but I love it. I love Hamlet. I think it's just absolutely a fascinating play. Shakespeare has so much to say about madness, and pretending to be mad. That's a theme that runs through many of his plays. But anyway, okay, tag other booktubers. I swear to you guys, I asked my fellow co-hosts who they wanted to tag, and they told me who, and I was like, well, I'm tagging a boatload of people because I want to see a lot of people do this video. So brace yourselves. Here we go. I'm going to tag David Wiley, Aaron Facer, Steve Donahue, Tilly from Tilly's Shelf, Aaron at Aaron Read a Book, Gina from Gina Stan Your Books, Rainy at Rainy Day Reads, a new booktuber I have recently discovered, Emily Good Reads. I think her name is actually Emily Good. So, Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, Novel Idea, Ursula Odds and Sods, excuse me, Ursula. Luminous Libro, who's reading Shakespeare in manga form this month, which I think is really interesting. Enter the Book, Jack at Rambling Raconteur, Randy Ray from Literate Texan, and A Literary Princess. So I'm very, very excited to see your videos. And if you don't have a channel and you want to answer these questions, please feel free. Fill the comment sections up. Let me know what your experience, what your Shakespeare journey is like. I would love to know more about that down below in the comment section. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, I totally understand. You can leave an emoji, or as a way of saying hello, you can give this video a thumbs up. So I'm gonna go into my Shakespeare soliloquy. But I just want to say, Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others, and I'll be back soon with another video. All right, here we go. All right, my favorite soliloquy from Shakespeare. This is in Henry V, Act 4, Scene 3. The English are getting ready to go into battle against the French. They are outnumbered 5-1. They're all exhausted and tired, and yeah, and so they're talking about how they wish they had more. Someone is talking about how he wishes he had more men from England with them there. And King Henry comes in and says, "What, he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland? No, my fair cousin, if we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not, if men my garments wear, such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, then I am the most offending soul alive. No, faith, my coz, wish not a man from England. God's peace, I would not lose so great an honor as one man more, methinks, would share from me. For the best hope I have, oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for his convoy put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company, that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispin. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named, and rouse him at the name of Crispin. He that shall see this day and live old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispin. Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin shall ne'er go by, from this day to the ending of the world. But we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed that they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap whiles any speaks that fought with us upon Saint Crispin's day.